Hi, folks, and welcome to the Fives Guy. This is Dr. Scott, and we are outside of the JCC in Rochester, New York, about to go into the Empire Comic Fest. On the Fives Guy, we do things up to, but by absolutely no means over, 5 of anything. And so we're about to go into the Comic-Con to find 5 of something. Or 5 somethings in this case. We were here last year, found a couple of fun treasures. I think last year I came out of here with a trade paperback of Strike Force Mortuary and ended up coming out with a really cool piece of original art of Nova from the New Warriors. We have a hunt list of nostalgia items for this year's Empire Comic Fest, and this is what we are looking for. We are going to be looking first and foremost for the 2026. They've got an Empire Comic Fest exclusive comic, which is G.I. Joe number 330 with a cover by Bart Sears. Never been a big G.I. Joe comic book reader, love the cartoon, but I know that we've got some friends over at the Longbox Crusade that are huge into G.I. Joe, and so we're going to see if we can pick one of those up for them. The second item on our hunt list is Charlton Action featuring Static, issues 11 and 12. These are comics that were created by Steve Ditko in 1985, 2 years before he created the character of Speedball from the New Warriors. And I saw a picture of it a few weeks ago and thought the costume looked really similar. And so we're going to see if we can find this obscure comic from the mid-'80s to see if this might have been a proto version of the better-known character from Marvel's New Warriors. The third thing that is on our hunt list, we are looking for an issue of Batman and the Outsiders. We're looking for issue 17. Most of my comic reading now is digital or trade paperback. I pick up floppies just to try stuff out here and there. Usually end up giving those floppies away to the students at the place at the school where I teach. And so this is one of the rare individual issues that I'm on hunt for, just because the cover is really kind of cool looking. It looks like, I'm assuming it's a Metamorpho story because the characters have all been sort of depicted as hieroglyphic kind of figures, which is a really neat looking cover, one I would love to add to the PC. And then the other two things are a little bit more open and ambiguous. The fourth item we're hunting for is something art related, whether it's small or large, as long as it fits in my financial wheelhouse. And then a fifth slot for something I find that I didn't know I was even looking for, because that's the fun of a Comic-Con. And this is a great one, the Empire Comic Fest in Rochester, New York, because it is almost wholly devoted to actual comic books as opposed to all the pop culture stuff, which is still neat, but it's fun to really be around the comic side of things to this extent. Let's go ahead and head on in and see how many of the things on our hunt list we can track down.
Many hours later.
All right, we have wrapped up at Empire Comic Fest, and we struck out on a couple, and we found a couple. And so let's start with the ones that we missed on. One of the ones we missed on was one of the ones I actually thought I had the best chance of finding, and that was the issue of The Outsiders with the hieroglyphic characters on the cover. No one had that. A bunch of people remembered the cover, had it at their stores, but didn't bring that as part of their stock to the show. And so I'm not super bummed out about that one, because that's one that should be easy enough to find just by popping out to a local comic shop. The other one we missed on was the Charlton Action Static issues that were done by Steve Ditko. And most folks either hadn't heard of it, had heard of it, but had never seen it. One table did have it, and it was the Steve Ditko table. Unfortunately, the versions they had were slabbed at 9-point-something and signed by Steve Ditko and from the PC of Steve Ditko's brother's collection. And so they were $4,000 a piece, which is fair for a Steve Ditko signature, but definitely outside of the price point that I was hunting for, because I was looking I would have been just as happy with a tattered copy just to read it and see the art. And so I will show you the contact info if you do have the budget and the interest in picking up a Ditko signature on what appears to be a proto version of his character Speedball on the screen while I'm talking right now. So those are the 2 that we missed on. The 3 that we hit on were, we did definitely get a copy of the Empire Comic Fest exclusive cover issue of G.I. Joe 330. I was told this is actually something of a key, as it's the first comic appearance of Lara Croft Tomb Raider, and they only brought, I know they had options advertised, but they actually only brought copies autographed as well by Bart Sears. And so, again, not being huge into G.I. Joe, this is not one for my PC. This is one that is early next week going to be going to the post office and getting sent out to one of our friends at the Longbox Crusade. One of the members of the Longbox Crusade knows who's going to be receiving it because I got the address for that person from this other person, but I'm not telling. And so if you are one of our friends at the Long Box Crusade and are wondering if it's you, keep your eye on the mailbox and we'll see. So we did definitely get that. The other two that were more ambiguous, we hit on both of those. The item that we didn't know that we were even looking for, we found it in this. It's issues 2 through 6 of a 6-issue limited series by DC Comics called Beowulf Dragon Slayer. And so anyone that knows me knows that I am an English professor. Before that, I was a high school English teacher. I love the idea that the comic books have the power to draw kids into both the fun of comic books, but also the fun of classic literature. I love things like Gary Whitta and Derek Robertson's series from Image, Oliver, based on Oliver Twist in a post-apocalyptic sort of world. And so this kind of stuff always kind of jumps at me, and I'd never heard of it before. They had them on sale at $1 a book, and that was something I could not say no to. And so that was the slot of something we got that we didn't know we were even looking for. And then the last thing we were on the hunt for was something art related. Last year I walked out with a piece of art that was Nova from the New Warriors, and we kept that trend going with another New Warrior, one of my 2 all-time favorite New Warriors, Silhouette. And this was done by artist Keith Williams, legendary artist. He probably best known for drawing The Shadow, but he's drawn just about everything. He actually even mentioned that he had inked this character before. And so, yeah, he did this amazing commission of Silhouette from the New Warriors for us. And right after I'm done recording here, heading off to Michael's to go ahead and get that framed so we can add it to the wall. So yeah, that was our experience at the 2026 Empire Comic Fest in Rochester, New York. Second year in a row that I've gone. Second year in a row I had an amazing time. Definitely come and check it out. The one last little bit I forgot to mention is for the issues of Beowulf Dragon Slayer. I got those from Midgard Comics, their booth. That's the same booth where last year I got the Strike Force Moratory trade paperback. And so they've got a ton of material, really chill guys. I'll put their contact info on the screen right now. Definitely worth giving them a look, especially if you're here in the Rochester area. And so yeah, welcome to the Fives Guy. We've got more content coming your way. Initially going to be posting every Friday. And so keep an eye on us, and we'll keep an eye out for nostalgia. Have a good one, y'all.